Yo, what's going on, my good people? Appreciate everybody that might tap in, man. Coming live tonight. Got a few different subjects I wanted to tap in on, and a lot of moves going on around the NBA. But, this whole Damian Lillard thing, I've seen a lot of mixed opinions, and I'm going to give mine. I'm going to give my opinion on this thing, man. I'm going to give it to you straight. I was going to say raw, but can't say that nowadays. I know how y'all get down, how y'all get the pulls. I know how y'all get. Okay. But this dude, Damian Lillard, man, he really made the decision to sign back with Portland. And as you can see in the title, man, I'm not necessarily approving of it, man. And it's not like he needs my goddamn approval. I mean, who the hell cares what I say? Don't matter to him. But all I'm saying is this. I don't think it's the best situation for Dame, if he's trying to win, which at this point is probably safe to say that he's not. You know, when you look at Dame going back to Portland, who the hell expects Portland to have any type of success? And I got to look up that roster, but we got to rewind this back, man. And I was being supposed to make a video about this. I was in total shock. Damian Lillard got cut from the Bucks, man. I was shocked, bro, and I'm still kind of in shock. What did Milwaukee know about Dame's injury that we didn't know? Now we know what's up with that Achilles. That shit is no joke, bro. You injure that Achilles, it could be over for you. It could really be over for you. That might be a career ender. And that's part of the reason why I say that. That's part of the reason why I say that Dame just made a career ending move. Because look, Dame, he's coming off the Achilles, bro. So he signs this 3-year deal. He signs this 3-year deal with Portland coming off the Achilles. Bro, he's hurt. He's not playing that first year. So he's going to have 2 years left on the deal. After that first year of being sidelined. Then that second year, let's look this. How old is Dame, man? Dame old, bro. So I don't think he's gonna come back right, man. I don't think Damian Lillard's gonna come back right. What is he? He's 35. And if that deal has him playing till he's 38, which we know he ain't playing that first year, I just see this as a career-ending move. I mean, to me, what this move feel like, and this is just to me, he goes back to Portland to end his career. Obviously, the brother played there for numerous amount of years. They say he never wanted to leave. They call him this extra loyal guy, whatever the case may be. Ends up leaving for a couple of seasons, and now he's back. So he's basically, my bad. Damian Lillard, he's basically going back to Portland to retire, in my eyes. And this is not to be ultra critical or ultra harsh about Damian Lillard, but I got to keep it real, man. The brother's old, and when you look at Milwaukee cutting him, how can you cut a guy with this much talent? How the hell can you cut a dude that's this talented? All the accolades he has racked up, and they don't trust this guy. And that is for a reason. That is for a reason, guys. Damian Lillard, in most people's eyes, they would say he didn't play well in Milwaukee. So, most people is going to look at his stint in Milwaukee as kind of weird. A lot of people going to criticize it. A lot of people is going to say he was okay. But for the most part, people are going to talk bad about it because he just didn't really stand out. Didn't lead the Bucks to any, extra amount of success. Nothing stood out about Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee. And when he got waived, that was just alarming to me, man. That was the biggest red flag right there. For you to waive a guy like that to sign Miles Turner. So, like I said, man, the league ain't loyal, man. You blow your damn Achilles trying to fight for these guys, and they'll cut you. They'll flat out embarrass you and cut you like you mean nothing to them. So, this is ultimately why I believe it's a career-ending move. A couple of reasons. Number one, I already said it. It feels like he's going there to retire. He calls Portland home. He's going back primarily because he misses it. It's not because he feels they got some championship level roster over there. That's not the reason. So basically, he's going back there to retire. That's reason number one. Reason number two, the man is just too old, man. And with him getting older, with him not going to be playing that whole first season. So he about to be damn near 37 years old. This dude is about to be 37 years old on the second year of that contract, probably. I don't know when his birthday is. I'm not looking that shit up. But this guy, he's just, I don't know, man. They cut him for a reason. You don't just waive a guy of this much talent. Something was going on. So, like I said, man, Dame. And the crazy part about it, people forget this. He did make 2 All-Stars. He did make 2 All-Stars in Milwaukee, which is strange because most people will remember his tenure as a failed tenure in Milwaukee, a failed couple of seasons, but he made 2 All-Stars. So he wasn't absolutely pathetic in Milwaukee, but he wasn't a difference maker. And now for him to come off this Achilles injury and to go to a team with virtually nobody on it that can help him win, you go in there to retire, bro. There's nobody that believes, that has any brains, that the Portland Trail Blazers can compete with Dame. Even, I know he's missing that first year, but with the group of guys they have, there's nobody that believes Portland can compete in the West. Nobody. So everybody knows what this was, man. You missed home, probably got a lot of family there, probably got your favorite hoes there, whatever the case may be, girlfriend, wife, I don't know what it is. And you wanted to go back, man. And I made a status about this. I was like, Bron went back to Cleveland to win championships. Damian Lillard, he went back to Portland because he missed it and to basically retire. So there's just a huge difference there, man. But shout out to Dame. This is no hate on Dame. It's just, how could this happen, bro? How could you get cut because they want to sign Miles Turner, a guy who can't even grab 5 rebounds in the finals? I mean, I really thought Dame would be an important piece for Milwaukee moving forward. And I thought they would have a real shot, seeing that, the East is the weaker conference. I thought Dame and Giannis teaming up, I thought it would be something special. I thought it could be something special. But it just never really worked out. Dame dealt with a lot of injuries, wasn't really 100%. And so that leads me to believe he's probably not going to be 100 when he gets back. Obviously not going to be coming off that Achilles. So with his body breaking down this way, with him getting older, it's just like, man, Dame may be going back to Portland to retire. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. I have nothing really too bad about Dame to say, but it's just the fact that, how weren't you really a difference maker in Milwaukee with a weak Eastern Conference? I mean, the brother didn't really provide much. Now, like I said, he did somehow make 2 All-Stars, and he signs this 3-year deal, $42 million, and that's a cheap contract, bro. I mean, that's not even $15 million a year. So they know something. I think he knows something since he signed it. It's sad to see. It's sad to see for this guy, Damian Lillard, man. For this brother to get cut like this, and then he's making that little bit of money, he's about to miss the next season. I don't know where Dame's going to go from here, but now this has almost guaranteed that Damian Lillard is going to end his career without a championship. That's just in my eyes, unless, what is it, the 26-27 season, unless they come and they grab damn near every free agent. Hey, man, it looks so unlikely. Because we got to remember, we seen this before. Nobody wants to play in Portland. The only people that play in Portland is the people they draft. Or they throw a hell of a bag at people that shouldn't even really get that much. That's the only way people play in Portland. So, like I said, man, it's unfortunate. Didn't want to see Dame go out like this. It's just embarrassing for a guy to get cut, and then next thing you know, he's signing this small ass contract, and he's back on his old team, spent the block, and I know, they show him a lot of love in Portland. They happy to have him, but they got to understand what they're getting. They're not getting the guy that was averaging 32 a night. I don't think so. Now, if he proves me wrong, I'll come in here and I'll say it, but I don't believe they're going to get that same guy that was putting up 32 a night in 2023. I just don't see it. Is it possible? Maybe, but coming off the Achilles, he's going to need that damn Achilles, bro, to shoot the basketball. So I just don't see it. It's sad how Dame is going out, getting cut in front of the whole world. It's just flat out embarrassing, man. He's not that ass to be getting cut. Even dudes who injured, dealing with Achilles injuries like that, you still don't really see them getting cut. Waived, I should say. So it was flat out embarrassing. And to me, what this reeks of, Portland was the only team that wanted him. That's what it sounds like to me. Because when you look at the contract, 3 years, $42 million. That's cheap, bro. Dame ain't making $20 million a year. So Portland was the only team that wanted him. And the only reason they did that was for ticket sales. So it's sad. Like I said, I don't know why him and Giannis didn't work out. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. I'm not sure. I have no idea why they were a failed experiment. You would think you got a pretty damn good point guard and an elite big in Giannis. I mean, there should be some type of success. Now I understand there were some injuries throughout, the course of their the course of them being together. But still, I just wanted to see a lot more, man. And he came up short. But that's not the only thing I'm gonna talk about tonight, man. Damian Lillard was just one of the first subjects I wanted to touch on. But there's some other things, man. There's been a lot of stuff going on that I got to get into. And I think I got like a whole list. Got like a whole list of stuff. So let's go to. Gotta talk a little bit about Bradley Beal, man. Beal, let's look this up real quick. So Bradley Beal, man, the man is going to the Clippers. Man, I was shocked when I seen the Bradley Beal move. Yeah, I was shocked when I seen Bradley Beal going to LA, but this is what you got to look at, man. And I know a lot of people are sitting up here excited. They sitting up here, meat getting hard, want to run and shout, scream and celebrate. Here's the bottom line, man. I don't see this working out. And by that, I don't mean they won't be a pretty good team. They was a pretty good team last year. So I don't doubt that. It's just the fact that, what we seen under Bradley Beal last season, I got to get that taste out of my mouth, man. I have to forget about that because that was horrible. And he was on one of the biggest contracts in the league. The man had a no trade clause. They were begging him. They were begging him. They were wishing and praying like, yo, could you please, is there anything you could do about that no trade clause? We do not want you. We don't want you, man. We don't want you in the building. You're not helping the team. We'd rather have some pieces in exchange for you. And now you see this guy going to the Clippers, and you look at the Clippers roster. It looks amazing. It looks, yeah. Yeah, it looks like they can do something on paper. Zubac, Beal, Harden, Kawhi. But to me, when you look at this roster, they're just injuries waiting to happen. All of them. All of them are just injuries waiting to happen. And so, if Bradley Beal can stay upright and he can kind of get back to some of the Wizards scoring, maybe he'll be good. But he dealt with a lot of injuries last year. This is a guy that's going to be hard to trust coming into this season. He's going to be extremely hard to trust. How can you trust him coming off that pathetic last season? There's no way in hell that you think this guy is going to come in and he's going to be just like the Wizards Beal. So let's take a look, guys. And I want to look this up because there's a lot of people who's jumping on the Clippers bandwagon. And now they added some pieces. Like I said, they got better. They did move out Norman Powell, so they don't have him no more. But I guess Norman Powell's replacement was Bradley Beal, which I guess you could say that's an upgrade. So they got Harden, Kawhi, Beal. Still got Amir Coffey, Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich, Can't forget about Brook Lopez, who they also signed as a free agent. Cam Christie, John Collins. Can't forget about him. See, that's a great addition right there. That's a great addition. I don't believe Ben Simmons will be back on this roster. They're probably looking elsewhere for him to go, or they're gonna let somebody else sign him. I believe they still have Batum, and obviously they have Zubac at the center position. So the Clippers, they have some nice pieces, bro. I can't even lie. When you sign John Collins, Brook Lopez, and you get Bill, I got to give them guys credit, bro. But the thing about it is they're gonna fall apart, man. And I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to wish that on them, But every single season, we can never talk about Kawhi Leonard just with basketball. You can't. You have to bring up injuries, and that is probably going to come into play for the next season. He has degenerate knees, whatever you call it, knees that can't be repaired. Probably needs some kind of metal in his knees, needs some kind of robotic knees or something, because he just can't hold up, man. The guy is, you can pencil him in. You can pencil Kawhi Leonard in right now to miss half of the season. He's just, that's what he does. He's going to miss over 40 games. So with that being the case, Bradley Beal, this guy wasn't healthy all last year. Dude dealing with back issues, what have you. James Harden, he's getting older. He kind of wants to play more of a point guard role, not aggressive in the playoffs. So, guys, what I'm trying to tell you, don't get overly excited about the Clippers, bro. Please don't. This reeks of a team with a stacked roster going home in the first round. Now, I'm just trying to tell you guys this. I don't want you guys to sit up here, get your hopes up, think these guys are going to win a championship. It's just not happening. It's not in the cards for these guys. But like I said, Brook Lopez coming off the bench, that's nice. I love that for him, because now you got a bruiser in Zubac, and then you got a stretch five coming off the bench in Brook. So that's nice. Beal as a scorer, as an upgrade over Norman Powell. I like it. All of this sounds great on paper until you really start thinking Kawhi's not going to be there. Beal's not going to be there all of the games. Harden's going to lack aggression. Harden's going to fall off and fade in some games. He's going to shoot, 4 for 22, have 7 points and 8 assists in a couple of games. So when you look at this, yeah, you want to jump on it. You want to say, man, this roster. But guys, I'm here to, slow you guys down, man. Please be cautious. The Clippers aren't what you think. Now, to me, Bradley Beal, he should have just went ahead and went to the Lakers, in my estimation, to kind of help them out. Probably could have had a great role with the Lakers, but he didn't want to do that. He wanted to go to the weak-ass Clippers, and that's where he's at. And Beal, there was some extra drama with Bradley Beal. I don't know if Beal, when he left, I don't know if he had beef with certain people, because he did, he threw up the peace sign. Yeah, he put that put that on Twitter. He also put that on IG with these pictures, throwing up the peace sign, throwing up the deuces, and there was a lot of people making comments. Bradley Beal was posting this like he was happy to leave. And to me, you should be. You had a pathetic season. You didn't do anything. So, and I'm sure Phoenix, he heard the noise, bro. Phoenix didn't want him around. Basically, 75% of the season, they were saying trade him, but they couldn't. So, Bill is excited that he's going somewhere else. He's going to be in LA. But what I'm telling you guys is to be cautious, man. Don't sit up here and just look at the roster and automatically assume that they're going to the championship or they're about to win it all. I'm telling you right now, man, and you don't got to believe me, this team will be injured by the first month of the season. Now, obviously, I hope not, but when you add up the history these guys have, it's hard to kind of think something else. So that's pretty much all I got on Bradley Beal, I think, and his move to the Clippers. Like I said, I like the move. It's just I can't get overly excited. You know, I can't sit up here and act like they're automatically going somewhere because they signed Bradley Beal. You know, you guys can do that if you want. We've seen him on the Wizards. We've seen him on Phoenix. Phoenix was supposed to be a super team. They didn't turn out to be that. So what I'm telling you guys is, yes, it's a good signing, but the thing of it is, you know, stop looking at name value and look at what the guy's actually going to bring on the court, which is probably at this point a little bit of damaged goods, just to say the least. Just to say the least. So let's go to this real quick. We ain't going to spend a lot of time on this. I seen something earlier with Cam Thomas. He went off, man. He went off on this guy, Zach Lowe. You guys know who Zach Lowe is. Zach Lowe, one of the reporters for the NBA, as you can see in his name, Zach Lowe _ NBA. So he's a guy, has a podcast, obviously talks NBA, one of the reporters, whatever the case may be. Cam Thomas went off on this guy. You know, I was just chilling, and as soon as I opened up Twitter, this was the first thing I saw. So this original tweet by NBA Retweet, this says that, you know, Zach Lowe on Cam Thomas. The consensus on Cam Thomas, if there is one, and he's got some fans and he's got some mega detractors, but the consensus is kind of like empty calories ball hall. And Cam Thomas was very offended by this. And he snapped. He went the hell off. He said, the consensus ? F you and the consensus, Zach Lowe NBA. This is most likely the same consensus teams who can't guard me and send double teams from jump ball. Why are we double teaming a guy who's not that good? Make it make sense, please. So this guy is just absolutely fed up with Zach Lowe's comments, man. And, you know, when I read these comments, is Zach Lowe lying? You know, maybe by saying consensus, because when you say consensus, you implying that, you know, it's a group of people. Like, you know, you got a large group of people. And what you're saying is the overwhelming majority agree on I don't know. Y'all can still hear me. My Wi-Fi tripping. Should be good. I think we good. I don't know. I don't know if he's lying about the consensus part. Maybe this is really just Zach Lowe's feelings on him. You know, and maybe he hid behind saying consensus. But when you look at what he actually said, You know, is Cam Thomas a ball hog? Probably. I feel like if you ask the world that, or you ask NBA fans that, people who actually know about him, most people would say yeah. Now, empty calories, that is a bit offensive, but I guess you could say that it applies when you consider the fact that, I mean, Brooklyn didn't win anything with him balling like he did, putting up the numbers that he did. So I guess it's not all the way false. I'm not making a complete judgment on this guy. He's still a young guy, still has time to get it together, but it's not like Zach Lowe was just pulling that out of nowhere. Or maybe he was, but as far as what he actually said, I mean, there may be a little truth to it. And I could see Cam Thomas side too, snapping on him like, hey, ain't no consensus said this shit. If I'm so ass, why y'all double teaming me? So I could definitely see Cam Thomas' point of view on that. I'm bad, y'all. I gotta sip my juice. Now, let's look at, we gotta talk about him because that's all y'all want to talk about. Let's talk about LeBron. Now, hold on. Well, this isn't what I wanted to talk about, but this is also true. Rich Paul, he says when LeBron retires, the media will have to find a new boogeyman to hate on just to chase likes and boost ratings. Very true. That's very true. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. But what I wanted to talk about is, let's see, LeBron James' retirement. I got to see who's reporting this. But somebody reported this. I think it's coming from Basketball Forever. I don't know how credible they are, but it says here, Lakers superstar LeBron James is expected to announce his retirement in advance as he wants a retirement tour. He wouldn't want the recognition, ceremonies, and celebration of his career across the league rather than quietly retiring in the offseason. They say that's via Chris Fedor. I mean, to me, does he deserve the whole, what do they call it? What they call it, retirement tour, whatever the case may be. Farewell tour, I should say. Does he deserve that? Of course. I mean, this is probably the greatest player of all time. We'll never see another guy like this. Most logical human beings have him top 2 all time. So to me, he deserves it. I think you have to give him. He has to announce that he's gonna be leaving the game. And so we don't know if we'll be hearing anything this offseason. Everybody's kind of waiting around. A lot of people still speculating. There's a lot of people who believe he's not even going to play for the Lakers. But there's been nothing pointing to the fact that he won't. Everything says that he's locked in with the Lakers for now. And I'm still hearing he still has that no trade clause. So if they can't trade him unless he, green lights it, he's not going just anywhere. He's trying to win chips. He's going on a team that's going to compete. So I don't see LeBron really going nowhere. But what I wanted to talk about was this whole retirement tour thing and this farewell tour. Now, his haters got to address y'all because every time we talk about LeBron, the haters come flocking in. Got to address y'all clowns. Okay? Now, his haters, I already know what they're going to say. I already know. Oh, he trying to be like Kobe. Yeah, I already know, man. And I'm pre-annoyed by the fact that you guys are gonna try to troll, and you guys are gonna be hating on the man who basically elevated the game, changed the game, made it way better, came in and always entertained, always left y'all with something to be talking about. This is the guy that even if you hated him, you were still talking about him every day. And that's why I agree with what Rich Paul said. When this guy retires, they're going to need a new boogeyman. I mean, I got a feeling, and I said this before, there's going to be guys who stop watching basketball completely once LeBron retires. That's just my opinion on it. That's just my opinion. Because I believe he's that polarizing. I believe people tune in for him that much. So to me, you know, I don't want to see LeBron go yet. But I find it highly unlikely that he goes without a bang. He goes out without a bang. He doesn't announce it. I don't see that happening. And, you know, to me, that'd be a huge mistake if he was to do that. So, LeBron, make sure you let everybody know, bro, so we could be locked in. We trying to celebrate you too, man. So now let's get to some other stuff, y'all. What else has been going on? There's so much going on, man. I'll just touch on a few things before I get out of here. I know it's Friday night. So I seen this thing with Klay Thompson, y'all. Klay Thompson, the Dallas Mav. We do see. They said this man hit 73 in a row, bro. They said this man hit like 72 threes in a row, bro. That man can shoot the hell out of the ball. That's one thing he can do. Now, why is he shooting so good? Why is Klay Thompson shooting so good? Well, some people would venture to believe it's because of this. It's because of this. Now, Klay Thompson has entered a public relationship. So Klay has gone public with this, y'all. He's made it Instagram official. He ain't playing no games. This guy is now with Meg the Stallion, bro. Meg the Stallion, man. And, you know, to me, when I heard this news, bro, the first thing I thought about, you know, I understand Klay Thompson shoot jumpers on the court, but I just hope she don't wind up shot somehow. You know, and you got a shooter like Klay could be dangerous. Could be dangerous to be around Meg. But in all seriousness, obviously, I don't think many people expected this. Now, what they started off doing was they was, as you guys can see on the screen, they was posting little stuff like this, you know. You know, they're like, you know, they're not showing fully that they're together, and you know, they're just first they're showing the hand, and you know, you see it, and you know, you can see her hair's blocking, and A lot of people didn't know, and then they popped out, y'all. Clay and Meg popped out together, and this is what it was. They actually went out together. I believe they was at the ESPYs, and this is official, y'all. I mean, Clay. This is the question I have: is Clay taking this serious, or is he just waxing that? I don't know. I couldn't tell you guys that. But when you look at Meg, she's just, and maybe it's just because she's a public figure, but man, it feels like she's just been with a lot of guys, man. And that's not no judgment. It's just the fact of, bro, you dated a guy named Torrey Craig, bro. Like, you dated an NBA player named Torrey Craig. If you ask a random dude on the street who is Torrey Craig, they gonna be like, who? Or they gonna think it's a local crackhead or something. They not gonna think that that's an NBA player. So, for Meg to do that, you was just dating an NBA player. So I guess she's found her niche, if y'all want to call it, and she's going after the NBA guys now. So, who's to say that, her and Clay is gonna last? Nobody knows this. We don't know this. I'm wishing the best for them. But now they have popped out. They've popped out, man. And you got Clay, Meg, holding hands. Believe they're at the ESPYs. Clay with the crispy cut. And just hope Meg do him right, man. Clay seemed like a good dude. I wouldn't want to see my boy Clay hurt. And, ever since he got with Meg, dude, he's sitting up there. He in the gym. He hitting 73s in a row. Dude is hype right now. He's getting new cheeks. He getting them Instagram cheeks. But this guy got to be careful. She does seem like she carrying around a lot of drama. She's got people, she's got people around her. I won't mention names, but she's got people around her that can pull some strings. So Clay better, if he knows what's best for him, he better treat her right. You don't want to end up in a situation where you got Rock Nation, you got these other people trying to get at you, and there ain't a situation you want to be in. Plus, Clay, you got to lock in, bro. You on the Dallas Mavericks. You got another year with them. Another year coming up with them. You got to lock in. Y'all have a great team over there. You came from Golden State. Y'all was declining. And now that you with Dallas, things are kind of looking up now. You didn't expect the Luka trade, but now you look up. You got AD. Oh, we get the number one pick. We got Cooper Flag. So he's got to be on his best game. They need him as that knockdown shooter. They need him to be focused. So if he's focused and he's worried about Meg's cheek, her left cheek, her right cheek, if he's worried about her cheeks, then he's not going to be worried about his streaks of hitting consecutive three-pointers. So Clay has to lock in. And that's all that I'm saying. There's no problem with the relationship. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm hoping for the best. But if anything I have learned about relationships, about celebrities, I mean, these things, one, they don't last. Two, a lot of it is just bullshit for the media, bro. A lot of this shit is just for the pictures, just for the idea. They getting together on some, either it's some just major lust shit. Like, this might be some lust shit on the part of Clay, because he done seen her cheeks on the gram. He done damn near, beating his shit to her on the gram. He been damn near doing some shit like that. And on her behalf, she coming off, first of all, a dude named Torrey Craig. You know what I'm saying? And, not only is he in the NBA or was, I don't know if he still plays. She also came off a highly controversial situation with Tory Lanez. So she probably don't want to go the bad dude route. She probably want a more clean cut, nicer guy. Clay's light skin, got the crispy cut. Clay is kind of a chill dude. Meg's more the loud one, the talkative one. So she wanted to try something different. And she even said she's never dated nobody like Clay before. She said that. Meg has said that. So this isn't me just making shit up. She said, like, I've never dated nobody like Clay. So to me, that was a red flag. If I had a whistle, I would have blew the whistle flag on the play. Because, look, this is what you got to understand. When you hear a female say, I've never dated a dude like this before, and you look at her dating history and you seen the type of guy she was with, and it's completely opposite of you, you better be alarmed. You better be eyes wide open. You better be focused. You better be locked in, man, because it could end horribly. That means, it probably means she think you green. She think you just this soft light skin, she think that she can run all over you. She think, she can get down on you, bro. Like, you ain't gonna get with her. Like, you ain't gonna go off on her. You ain't gonna say nothing. She thinks she can run all over you. That's what I think it means. So, for me, either that's what's going on, where she gonna try to get down on him, or the other situation could be this. She's coming off the Tory Lanez. She's coming off the Torrey Craig. She's coming off all these other guys. That's just hitting and quitting. She probably wants Clay to be that guy who feels like a real man that's going to stand in, be a good guy, accept her bullshit, you know what I'm saying, to stick by her side, and Clay looks like the guy that's trying to fill that void, or he's just after the cheeks. I don't know. I'm not quite too sure. But like I said, I'm wishing nothing but the best for these guys. Like I said, it was surprising. Didn't expect to see it, but it happened. It happened, okay? So we get it. We got to move on. And Clay and Meg are apparently a thing. Now, we'll see if can they last the whole NBA season. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. My money would go against it. But then again, I'm not putting any money on it at all. So we gotta go to some other stuff, y'all. Gotta go to some other stuff. There's been so much stuff going on, man, that I haven't been able to make videos about. What else happened? What's something with Joel Embiid that was reported, man? Looked like Joel Embiid back at his usual shenanigans, dude, crying again. Big old 7-footer. So this is what they got Joel Embiid talking about, y'all. And this is not NBA Central. This is NBA Central, okay? And they says this. Joel Embiid reveals that James Harden doesn't speak to him anymore. No one knows this, but even James Harden is not talking to me. That's the part I don't like about being that guy, because it puts you in the middle of those situations. Because if you ask James, He probably believes I had something to do with him not being here. And I'm just like, I won the scoring title. You won the assist title. We had a pick and roll that was unstoppable. It hurts when you feel like you haven't done anything wrong. When you think you have a relationship like that with somebody, you lose a lot. So Joel Embiid is crying, he's whining. He's basically wanting his friend back. Why are you up, Nessa? Joel Embiid wants his friend back. He's crying. He's like, man, I didn't get you shipped out of here. I had nothing to do with you leaving. And so Embiid, this big old 7-footer, right? This big old guy is sitting up here crying and whining about James Harden. James Harden has been gone for quite a while. And so to me, what it looks like is either Joel Embiid is missing this guy, or he texted him and maybe the text went green. His texts and calls ain't going through no more. And, he thought they had a great relationship, but he feels like it's no longer the same now. He feels like ever since James left, James Harden has not spoke to this man. So we don't know what happened between these guys. It could just be that James is just, focused on other things. He's focused on his new team. It's the off season right now. It's probably on vacation. He probably don't have any real ill will towards Joel Embiid. And they probably will have a conversation one day at some point. But to me, what this feels like for Joel Embiid to come out and publicly say this, he's basically pleading, he's crying, man, that he misses James Harden. And, he's sitting up there, yo, thought we was friends, man. And now my text turning green. So it is kind of a sad situation. When you look at, like Joel said, Joel won the scoring title, Harden won the assist title. They was a decent duo. But at the end of the day, what did it lead to success-wise? Not much. Not much. So I just thought that was funny that Joel Embiid, doing his best impression of himself, still crying, whining, and complaining. Now, we got to get to some other stuff, man. We got to get to some other stuff. Let's talk real quick about a couple of these NBA players, man. And Rashee Rice being one of them, right? So these NBA players, they seem to get into a lot more. I've been NFL players. These NFL players, they seem to get into a lot more trouble than NBA players. This just in my opinion. You seen Justin Tucker, what he did. He doing all this shit with massage therapists. You seen what Deshaun Watson did. You seen what Henry Ruggs did. Henry Ruggs bodied somebody. These guys are speeding on the highway, crashing into stuff. These guys are just driving reckless, driving drunk, DUIs out the wazoo. So with these NFL players, I don't know if they be wearing the helmet too long and it suffocates the oxygen that goes to their brain. I don't know. But these guys don't seem that smart. Now, Rashee Rice, this guy is going to be suspended for the upcoming season. Now, his incident already took place last year, but the NFL did not give him a suspension because the court, they didn't do nothing last year. It took a while for the court to address this. So now let's see the new report we got on Rashee Rice. So it says Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice has been sentenced to 5 years probation. Damn. And 30 days of jail time. Damn. That can be served during those 5 years for his role in the multi-car crash in Dallas. in the 2024 offseason. Per Adam Schefter, Rice is likely to receive a multi-game suspension. So this dude, 5 years probation, bro. And he got to do 30 days in jail. So hold on, let me get this right. He's got to do 30 days in jail. So to me, if you Rashee Rice, the NFL season is coming up. In 2 months, you need to go to prison right now. You need to go to jail right now. You don't want to miss any NFL game checks. But the thing is, they're going to suspend him anyway. So I wonder, do he get to choose when he goes to jail? I don't know. This is a lot going on. Probation, 30 days jail, and he's getting a suspension. All because he was doing some dumb shit on the highway in Dallas. You know, it's just like, and I frequent Dallas a lot, man. You can't be like that, bro. Cops really be everywhere. And then y'all driving these exotic whips. They fast as hell. Police is waiting on y'all. You know, and in Dallas, they got officers that's job is just to catch people speeding. They don't go patrol. They don't do shit but sit on the highway with that little ass radar gun. And sometimes they don't even have that. They just pulling people over just to meet quota. And so they got Rashee Rice. Now, Rashee Rice, I can't quite exactly remember how bad his incident was. Now I know he didn't unalive nobody, which is good. He didn't pull a Henry Ruggs, but why would you put yourself in these type of situations, bro? I never understood what these athletes be doing, bro. These athletes will be on TV at least one time a week. Money out the wazoo. Big crib. Taking care of their family. And then they'd go and do 200 miles per hour on the highway, you know, after coming from the bar on a random day out the week. It doesn't add up. These guys got to get smarter. These guys got to get checked for CTE. These guys have got to stop doing dumb shit to jeopardize their own well-being, their own money. Now, that was for the Rashee Rice. Now, something else went on, too, that we got to talk about as far as NFL real quick. I think it was Jordan Addison. Something happened with Jordan Addison, and I believe he's going to face a suspension, another NFL wide receiver. So, this is something that went down with him, okay? Now, he's a Vikings wide receiver. And it says Jordan Addison decided to plead to a lesser included vehicular offense, commonly referred to as wet reckless. Whoa, that sounds a little wild. What you doing being wet and reckless? Commonly referred to as wet reckless per his agent, Addison will pay a standard fine and complete 2 online courses, after which we expect that his probation will be terminated early in 6 months. Still waiting to see how the NFL will respond to this in regard to a suspension. So he's not quite guaranteed to get suspended, but they just said he pled guilty to a vehicular offense called wet reckless. Let me Google that. What the hell is wet reckless? That don't sound right. That sounds like somebody's girlfriend, wet reckless, or a stripper name or something. Wet reckless meaning. Okay, so a wet reckless is a legal term referring to a type of reckless driving charge that involves the use of drugs or alcohol. It is often considered a lesser charge than the DUI and can be negotiated as a plea deal in a DUI case. In California, for example, a wet reckless charge falls under the California Vehicle Code, which defines reckless driving. The consequences of a wet reckless charge can include fines, points on your driving record, and potential impacts on insurance rates, but they are generally less severe than those associated with a DUI conviction. So basically, a wet reckless charge is a lesser DUI. That's crazy. I didn't know that they could do that. So that's kind of strange to me, man. So it involves the use of drugs or alcohol. So could you get a wet reckless charge for like being high off something like weed or something? And I don't know, man. So Jordan Addison, I guess his charge isn't as bad, but when you look at him, you look at Rashee Rice, these guys, these wide receivers, man, they getting in the cars and they're just doing dumb shit. You know, getting in there drunk, knowing damn well they got hundreds of thousands of dollars. They could afford a Uber every day for the next 30 years, but they won't get one. They got to get behind that wheel. They got to get these charges. They got to fucking, get suspended and miss out on money. But that's what these guys in the NFL do, apparently. And like I said, I don't condone it, but these are grown men. And to me, they should have learned from Henry Ruggs, man. And I don't mean to keep bringing him up. This dude, Henry Ruggs, should have been the prime example of what to never do. Never do. And then what do you see? Right after you see these guys catching charges. Now, luckily, it wasn't as bad as Henry Ruggs, but still. People just will never learn, And I guess the best teacher is experience. So maybe they had to experience it on their own. But a person like me, hell no. I'm learning from the experience of others. I'm not going to go through that shit myself if I don't have to. So that's just how I view it. Now, let's get to some other stuff, y'all. Let's go back to the NBA a little bit, or I guess you could say Summer League. I really been liking what I've been seeing from this guy. Bronny James, last 3 games, 18-5-2, 17-5-5, 14-3-1. So this guy has improved. This guy right here on your screen, this guy has improved, man. And I think it's about time, all you LeBron haters, you got to get off his sack, man. It's time for you to get off this man's sack. This guy has shown that he has gotten way better since last season. You say Bronny balling. Bronny is balling. What up, Latasha? He has gotten so much better since last season that it's honestly insane. And when I said this, because I said this to a couple of people, you know what they told me? They said, man, it's just Summer League, man. He still doesn't belong. He still sucks, blah, blah, blah. And how I'm looking at this, they don't want to give Bronny a chance because they hate his father. Okay? Now, I know it probably says something in the Bible. What does it say in the Bible about the sins of your father or something? Whatever the case may be, right? I don't have the scripture in front of me, okay? I'm not going to sit up here and act like I read the Bible every day. But basically, they will never like Bronny James because of who he's related to. And to me, that's just pathetic. You should judge every man on their own merit, on their own person. You should never judge a man strictly on his father. How would you guys feel about that? You walk into a room, people automatically hate you because your dad. And they don't even know your dad or you. So, like I said, this guy has made leaps and bounds of improvement. And to me, Bronny James' role, what he's going to have to carve out, he's going to have to become an elite defender. And Bronny James is going to have to become a consistent three-point shooter. Now, this guy, Bronny James, his athleticism is off the charts. Bronny James' athleticism is starting to kick in. His dad's jeans, and I'm not talking Wranglers or Levi's, his dad's jeans are really starting to kick in. This guy's 6'2" and jumping out of the gym. So, like I said, I just wish people gave him a chance. A lot of people was hard on him last season. I wasn't. I held out hope, and it looks like I'm right. Looks like I'm right. You got to give this guy a chance. He has LeBron James genes. No one's saying he's going to be anything like LeBron. You never heard that come out of my mouth. You've never heard that. You never will hear that. I don't even know if he'll be a star. I don't think so. But his niche in the league, where he's going to make his money, where he's going to last in the league if he can translate this summer league ball to the NBA, what he's going to have to do, he's going to have to be an elite on-ball defender. Kind of like a Gary Payton, a Patrick Beverly. Okay, he's going to have to be a pest out there, racking up steals, shit, even racking up fouls sometimes, just playing aggressive. So if he masters that defensive side of the ball and then he develops a good three-point shot that's reliable, maybe shoots around, 36, 37%, this guy deserves minutes if he can do those two things. And that's not asking a lot out of this guy. Not asking him to play full-time point, although he can run points on. So the players I like to look at, I know some people said Drew Holiday, and that really made a lot of people mad. I'm not going to go there with Drew Holiday, okay? So I think Drew is just a lot bigger, and Drew is a vet, man. Drew, it's certain things Drew know and learn through experience, through winning championships. So I'm not going to make that comparison, but I could see like a Davion Mitchell, just a flat out a pit bull on the defensive side and can hit an open shot. I could see that and can run some point. I can see that. But he's got to, once he get around those NBA guys, got to play with confidence. He's got to show some of this same stuff. You can't get around the big dogs and fold and cower. You got to elevate, and that's the only way that he's going to be able to stand out. With LeBron being old as he is, probably leaving the league soon, this year or the next, a lot of that spotlight may leave. Or it might get bigger. I don't know. But whatever the case is, Bronny's going to have to be able to handle it, which I think he can. And like I said, he's going to have to work on that defense and become elite at it and work on that shot, which is doable. Very doable for Bronny. All right, so we already talked about ratings going down once LeBron retires. We already know that's true. What else? I guess I could touch on this a little bit. Let's see. I think hold on, y'all. Let me get a sip of this. So let's look at this. I think, was it Bleacher Report? Bleacher Report. Yeah, it was the Bleacher Report top 100. Okay. All right, so they got MJ at the 1. Now, this right here, y'all. This had everybody losing their goddamn mind, y'all. And guys, just from looking at this, I bet you guys know what's wrong with it. And this is coming from the Bleacher Report staff, y'all. Now look. They got MJ at the 1, LeBron at the 2, Kareem 3, Magic 4, Russell 5, Shaq 6, Duncan 7, Bird 8, Wilt 9, and Steph 10. And you see who number 11 is, right? See who number 11 is. They got Kobe Bryant at the 11th spot. Got Steph Curry 1 spot ahead of Kobe. And, man, people just went in an uproar, man. Like, I still got people mad at me about it. And I didn't make the goddamn list. I didn't have nothing to do with the damn list. But this just shows you, man, all the Kobe fans, they ain't rocking with it, bro. They believe Kobe Bryant is at minimum in the top 10, which, honestly, I really wouldn't disagree with. I wouldn't be mad putting Kobe in the top 10. But I think where Kobe fans take it too far is when they try to put him, up there around 1 or 2. And that's just way too high. That is just extremely too high. He doesn't even belong anywhere near 1 or 2. Highest to me that you can put Kobe Bryant is at the 3. And I don't think many people would do that. Now, obviously, what hurts Kobe, he's got the 1 MVP. He's got the 2 finals MVPs. And so, yeah, you got all them chips, but if chips is a team award and in 3 out of those 5 chips, you weren't the MVP, people take that away from you. And that's what I think we're looking at, man. Kobe Bryant, like I said, this guy, when he was playing, he was a problem, bro. And so Steph over Kobe, I don't know if I would have did that. Maybe Bleacher Report did that on purpose. Maybe they're trying to rage bait. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just trying to draw some kind of reaction because this had a lot of people in the uproar, man. You know how Kobe Bryant fans get down. They wasn't going for this, man. They was not going for this. So I would like to talk to a Kobe Bryant fan and see how they feel about the ranking. But, and I don't like to try to disrespect Kobe. Much love, respect to Kobe. But I just don't like when people try to say, I don't like when they try to say he's the greatest player of all time. I don't like when they try to say Kobe's the GOAT. First of all, how the hell is he better than MJ? If you copied a man, you tried to be exactly like another man, and you failed. You tried to win 6 chips. You tried to get 6 MVPs. You threw on number 24 to put 1 over Jordan 23. You copied a whole nother man's mannerisms, his game on the court, his moves on the court, everything. And you came up short, but you're better than the guy you copied? No. I can't give that to you guys. I can't. And like I said, I got a lot of Kobe Bryant fans that, they try to go in on me because my opinion on that. But I'm speaking absolute truth. You could never have Kobe over a guy that he copied and came up short. Until somebody explains that to me, then I'll keep running with what I'm saying. Number 2, you can't have Kobe over LeBron. You can't. LeBron is just flat out the better player. Now, you guys are looking at all the pump fakes. You're looking at the fadeaways. You're looking at the mid-range. You're looking at all this other stuff. Every team LeBron was on, he was the man. That's number one. Every team LeBron was on, he was the man. Every championship LeBron won, he was the finals MVP. You can't say that for Kobe Bryant. You can't. When LeBron James, and I argued this on another live stream, when LeBron James came into the league at 18 years old, he was the man. He was the man. He instantly came in and took over a team. When Kobe Bryant came in at 18, could we say the same? And I already know what people like J Boy, who's a member of the channel, or a subscriber, I should say. I know what dudes like him gonna say, man. Well, LeBron had a worse team, so they just let him do whatever he wanted. No, they could have let anybody do whatever they wanted, but will they have filled those shoes? Will they have showed up? Will they have taken the team to the finals by doing it? So don't diminish LeBron for coming in as an 18-year-old, immediately dropping at least 24 a night as a kid, basically. That wasn't Kobe. So to me, from the jump, what that proves to me is Kobe had to work a lot harder to get just as good as he was. And that's not an issue. It's just the fact that with that being the case, you're not better than LeBron. You're just not. You're not, bro. And that's fine. And pretty much the only thing that they say is 5 is more than 4. Team accomplishment, buddy. Okay, pal. Okay. So, this list was kind of crazy. And then as you keep on going, you see Kobe at 11. You see Hakeem 12. KD at 13. Oscar at 14. West 15. KG 16. Jokic 17. Dirk 18. We got David Robinson and Dr. J to round out the top 20. So it was a solid list. But the biggest news in that was Kobe being quote unquote snubbed from the top 10. What else we got? What else went down? I think something happened with Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm almost about to get off here, you guys. Here we go, y'all. So Teddy Bridgewater was suspended, guys. Teddy Bridgewater has been suspended from Miami Northwestern for providing impermissible benefits to his players, which included Uber rides, physical therapy, pregame meals, recovery help, field paint, and more. If that's the case, Teddy Bridgewater should be celebrated, not suspended. Just my 2 cents. Now, that is kind of crazy that you suspend a guy for looking out for his team. Dudes is soft, bro. That's why a lot of people are criminals. That's why a lot of people live a life of crime and don't want to do the right thing, because what reward do you get for doing the right thing? I'll wait for y'all to tell me. What reward do you receive for doing the right thing? A suspension? They take your money? They drag your name? So, to me, I just want to shout out Teddy Bridgewater for looking out for his guys. I mean, I didn't hear nothing illegal in that thing that I just read. Wow. It's so bad that he got him Uber rides and physical therapy, got him pregame meals, recovery help, field paint. Wow. That's so against the rules. This guy should be punished. It's just nonsense, man. Got suspended for taking care of his players when they were in need. Now, this is a high school, by the way. So, not cheating, not stealing, just caring about them got him suspended. He gave them the tools to chase a better future and is getting punished for it. Suspending Teddy Bridgewater isn't justice. It's punishing love, leadership, and sacrifice. What else we got going on, guys? I'm about to get off here soon. We did have, I guess I'll play this, man. We had Shaq going hard for Angel Reese, man. Oops. Shaq, Angel Reese. We had Shaq. This dude threatened to beat the hell out of Robert Griffin, bro. So let's actually play this. You see how serious he looked?
Speaking of man, RG3, tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese and punch you in your fucking face. Okay? It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro. You got your job, you got your podcast, leave my Angel Reese alone. I'm the one calling her and telling her not to respond. Fucking stop it. That's the last time. Okay? Thank you. It's not real hate. If you look around what's going on in this real country, that's hate. This is sports. I'm not supposed to like you. It's a shame that all the stuff you did in your life, you're going to be remembered for your podcast. You're going to be remembered for your podcast. That should tell you you're not that fucking great. I don't want to be remembered for Shaq's Bit podcast. I do not. Like, leave those girls alone. You already spoke on it. Let it go. So what? He hates us. So fucking what? I hate you now for messing with her. Now what? Say something about me. But she's not going to respond because I'm the one calling her and be like, baby, keep it classy. Because she's not soft by any means. You're from the streets. But I'm like, you're beautiful. Don't indulge with these fools because he's a fool. You don't even have G14 classification to say that. I would respect it more if Lisa Leslie said it. Like, that's y'all category. Stay out of them people's category. Okay, you're sports, whatever you do, you talk about sports, but bro, you don't need to be going deep. Y'all can go deep. Y'all are females. Y'all understand what that's like. If he hates her, so what? Mind your business. Like, I don't mind you doing your job as anyone, but don't pick on that little girl. Because guess what? I'm her protector. Now pick on me. You pick on me, I'm going to punch you in your fucking face.
So y'all heard it, man. This dude Shaq, deep ass voice, mumbling and shit. And to me, what this sounds like, this dude Shaq, man. And he comes off like he's trying to play this mentor role. I mean, it sounds like he want to get in Angel Reese's cheeks, bro. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. It sounds like he trying to hit Angel Reese, bro. And I don't mean no physical threat, bro. It don't sound too good, man. But I hope it's nothing like that. If it's not, shout out to Shaq. Shout out to Shaq, man. Trying to step in for Angel Reese. I don't think RG3 is responding. I don't think he will. If a big ass dude like that, 7'12", 800 pounds, dude threatening me, I might not respond either. So that's the deal on that. He wasn't really trying to, he wasn't trying to stand in that fire and go through with that smoke over no damn Angel Reese. But like I said, man, shout out to Angel Reese. She's been playing a lot better as of late. Seems like she found her groove, her rhythm, and she's starting to round into form. So that's a good thing for her. So that's a good thing for her. But man, that is crazy, y'all. Let's get into one last thing that actually came out today.
Oh, speaking of man,
This man, Shannon Sharp, bro. Shannon Sharp, bro. I can't believe it, y'all. The report that I seen today. So the case has been, I guess, dismissed, thrown out. This guy, Shannon Sharp, bro. Let's look at this tweet. Tony Busby. Jane Doe versus Shannon Sharp on April 20, 2025. The Busby law firm filed a complaint in Nevada making several allegations against Shannon Sharp on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledged a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice. So basically, with prejudice, meaning that they could never charge him again for this or never try to sue him again for the same thing. And Shannon, what this says and what's been reported, which in that tweet, uh, they didn't use that language, but basically, he settled. He settled. So let's see if I can find a tweet that uses that language. That's what I've been seeing a lot of people report, that he settled. So this man paid money, bro. Now, if you guys can remember, the chick was asking for 50 million, bro. She wanted 50 of them things. And it's just like, bro, that's too much bread, bro. Like that's too much cheese, bro. And so, the thing was, before this even caught much steam, Shannon offered her 10 mil. She said, no, I need 50. So what that tell you? They settled somewhere in the middle. So they settled somewhere in the middle, guys. So Shannon probably paid her upwards of 20 million. Shit, maybe 15. So when you look at this, bro, this is kind of sad. It kind of feels like he admits some guilt, or he's just paying for this to go away. But either way, I think how most of the public is going to view this. You would not settle with a woman that you did not do anything to. That's how most human beings is going to look at this. Also, you fought this hard when the allegations first came out. You talking about this is a shakedown. Let's see if we got that video. You talking about this is a shakedown. All this stuff, they lying. All this, right? I don't know if I can find it up here. And the thing about it is, bro, here we go.
This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open. To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Now,
to my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly.
this is what I don't like, bro. I don't like using, the whole he's going after black men, this and that. I really despise that excuse, bro. Unless you have real truth and evidence to that. I can't stand when people use that, bro. Because it seems so goddamn fake. And it seems like you don't really have nothing else to say. So the first thing you go to is the whole race thing. I don't like that, bro. I can't stand that. But yeah, man, Shannon seemingly settled his lawsuit, and now that he's done that, a lot of people are gonna assume that he's guilty. And that's not right. That's not right for them to do that. But of course, that's what they're gonna do because people who are childish, people who are ignorant, and people just believe whatever they want to believe, even if it's not the truth. They don't care what the hell it is. So, yeah, man, that was a crazy situation. I couldn't believe that I heard that Shannon settled like that. She was up there talking about 25K per cheek, shit like that. It's sad, man, to see Shay was dealing with a young chick like that and got duped like that. But there's a lot more other things that I would get into, but not gonna do it tonight. Gonna go ahead and end this live stream, man. Appreciate everybody that tapped on in. Hopefully you guys that catch it on the replay, make sure you guys can hit that like button for me. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody watching the content. I'm gonna turn it up, man. I gotta get these videos out to you guys. It's time to ramp it up, man. It's time to get to our goal, y'all. We got to get to 600 subscribers. We're going to take it 100 at a time until we get to 1,000. We're over halfway there. We just got to keep on climbing, y'all. So, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. A little late night stream, just kind of popping up out of nowhere. But I had fun talking about some stuff. And I'll be making some more videos on these subjects as well. So, that's it for the stream, man, and I'm gone. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have a good night or day or wherever it is at the time you're listening. I'm gone. Peace.